Hey guys, it's Darkest Dreams 21. I'm just going to show you how to level up all the way to level 5 while also getting all the Pre Searing armor. That includes the headgear as well. So we're going to speed this up to double time just because it takes a little over an hour to do it my way, but it should make everything go by a little bit quicker. I generally do the thing where I accept all the quests I possibly can, while also just not completing them, just to make sure at the very end I can cash them all in and get the experience at the last minute. Don't forget your backslash bonus to get all your weapons. Depends on what you specifically have for a profession, but I prefer the Soul Shrieker because it gives me an extra 15 energy and gives me bonus to blood magic and death magic. And I generally just accept all the quests I possibly can, and most of them aren't available, so we'll grab this one here. And we'll head out and grab our first two necromancer skills. Now this applies to all professions, as you can get the same armor from pretty much every collector. It'll just be specified to whoever you have at that point in time. And I'll also show you how to go around and find all the skill professionals, and to show you how I get the extra experience at the end. I basically do all the side quests for all the other professions. We talk to Gwen over here, and that's another 250 experience if you grab her. And I won't talk to him right now. I will go up here and trigger the dialogue between these two, because the Gift for Althea quest comes after you wait for them to talk and finish. We will talk to her and go down and kill poor little Bill the Bull. He's apparently been a bad boy and he's been rampaging, and she wants us to go kill him. I try to kill as many Aloe husks as I can because I need those seeds for the chest armor. They drop unnatural seeds and I need 5 of them. We're not going to turn in this quest right away, although I will be choosing Mesmer as my secondary for my Necromancer for many reasons, and I can explain those later on when I go to post-searing, but in pre-searing as well, some of the skills, especially the domination magic skills, can be quite useful. And we'll talk to Osric over here and get a gift for Althea. And we'll head back over this way. And one thing you want to do if you want to stay in pre-searing and want the headgear, or you want the special bag that's for armor and weapons, you need at least 50 flowers for each. I started this character with 50 flowers to show you how to get the headgear at the end. We'll talk to Gateguard Torin. One thing about the imps and the Firestone, when you do backslash bonus, they are very vicious and they will fight anyone in their bubble. If you look in the upper left, you'll see the summoning sickness. That thankfully goes away after 10 minutes, so if you're in a tough area like across the wall, if you let that expire and you leave your inventory open like I like to do, you can immediately hit the stone and respawn it once that sickness has expired. We'll accept the warrior skill for now, and we'll go do the warrior quest real quick. If you are a necromancer, you'll want to come over here for blood magic as well, and there's also a monk skill there as well. For this quest, you don't really need the sword, which is why I ditched it. We just need to go over here and kill the 3 Grawl invaders. They're only level 1, so you can kill them pretty quickly, even though you're probably low level at the time you do this. And we'll kill anybody else who decides to come in our area just for the experience and the drops. But we're not going to collect the quest once we're done. We will be mapping back into Ascalon to collect a few more quests. Trouble in the Woods is one of many that Devona has. The Wayward Wizard. Talk to the Baron here. We'll get the Poison Devour and Bandit Raid. And as you can see, there's still plenty of people in here playing, even after 15 years. And why I'm playing a 15-year-old game and doing a video of it, well, it has a special meaning for me. We won't talk to him right now just yet. We will follow Mac, and we'll find out that the bull's name was in fact Bill, and it was a pet of his. Many times the dialogue is slightly off. He'll get his first 2 lines in, and then Althea will pipe in with the one that's supposed to be in between, but we'll grab that quest from him as soon as he's done. And most people, when, questing for level 20 in Pre Searing, will turn in all the quests from level 16 to 17, because when you're doing the Vanguard quests, you only get 16 experience from killing the enemies. I tend to do it from 19 to 20, because the grinding out of the last level usually tends to be the most monotonous for me anyway, but everybody differs. Basically, I'm just showing you my way. And there's always a flower in that valley down there across the river. I don't particularly need it, and I don't feel like fighting my way through all those scales, as I'm trying to do this a little quicker than usual. But unfortunately, they come in the aggro zone, so I have to take them on. And we'll head up here and dump a little bit of inventory at the merchant. And of course, having an identification kit and some salvage kits will help in some of the bigger areas that have a lot of drops. Over there, of course, is where you can grab baked husks, at least one of the easiest areas. A beautiful feather for the gift for Althea quest. We won't be doing that, but we will grab a flower. There's generally one down here in this town. There's usually one out in the field that way as well. For now, though, we're heading into the catacombs, so we're going to grab the monk skills. Now, one thing you want to do, if you're not a necromancer, is grab the Rites of Remembrance from Necromancer Mun over here, and not the second quest. The Necromancer Novice will give you the skills for Necromancer and take away your monk skills. So if you're not a Necromancer, the easiest way I suggest that you can do it without completing all the quests is to simply not deposit one of the candles in the very first brazier and deposit it in the other 3, and then come back later when you're ready to dump the monk skills and drop it right in this first brazier right here, and then you can complete the quest. If you're low level, you need to be careful down in this area, especially if you're trying for Survivor. The -1 health degeneration can kill you quickly if you're not paying attention. Obviously, you just need to make sure that all the enemies are killed in this area. And since I can get rid of the candles without having to worry about it, I will just get rid of all 4 of them right now. And honestly, you can just stand at the bottom of the steps and just heal him all the way up. And as long as there's no enemies to fight and you don't walk away from him, he will be able to make it back the entire way without dying. If you get too far behind him or too far ahead of him, he will stop in the poison and just kill himself, which is a little silly, but it's just how it works. And he moves a little bit slow, so I tend to stay behind him and make sure he doesn't get hung up on anything. And he's getting low, but the poison will stop about there, and we'll heal ourselves. And you need only follow him back to the entrance and wait for the monk's mission to trigger on the lower left. I've been playing this game off and on for about 15 years, with maybe a 7-year hiatus in the middle, and honestly, I've met 2 of some of my favorite people in this game, and that's why it means so much to me and why I'm doing a video for it. Monk's mission completed. We'll go back down here and talk to Necromancer 1, or at least follow her, not talk to her, because we don't want to claim those quests just yet. At least I don't want to. Now, if you buy the Game of the Year edition, that's how you get those backslash bonus weapons and the Igneous Summoning Stone, which is one of only a few that are more or less not single use. You can use it up till level 19. At level 20 it will no longer be useful, but he is a huge help as you're leveling up. He deals a lot of fire damage and he can heal himself. And of course this quest, you need the Minion Master, as you need to raise minions and have them walk through the fire trap so you don't walk through it and get burned to death. Eventually, I will be doing other games beyond Guild Wars, but I just really have a connection to this game, so of course that's where I'm starting for now. And my whole goal as far as leveling up and Pre Searing is to complete as many quests as I can without actually cashing them in, unless they give me skills. I do like to fill up my skill tree. I do not like to just have one profession. I do like to have, by the time I go across the wall, I like to have 2 professions. So we won't talk to her, but we will go farm gargoyle skulls, because that is the first piece of armor we're going to go after. You need 5 of those. Generally, you should be able to have 5 by the time you get to the other end, because there's nothing but gargoyles between here and there. Being a necromancer, we have the power of blood active, and that decreases the amount of gargoyles on the way, because the blood fanatics replace gargoyles in the other half of the catacombs. In this run, we don't get enough, unfortunately, but if you do a regular run without that quest active, you should kill enough gargoyles, generally, to have 5 skulls to be able to get the boots. And over here, if you are a caster, or low level or anything, you need to be careful of that Shatter Gargoyle, because he will cast one of those wonderful domination magic spells. And the faster you cast, the quicker you'll kill yourself. Holding back a little bit on attacking with spells until that relents, and he didn't get backfire off a second time, thankfully, and we're able to also bring up some minions to help us. It's one of the wonderful things. I do love minion masters, but as far as going for survivor, minion master is not the best option. I tend to do a combination of mesmer and blood, just to heal myself as well as dealing negative damage to the other team. As far as in Pre Searing, however, it synergizes quite well with the mesmer skills. And I want to get blood magic to level 4, because life siphon will be +2 for me and -2 health degen for them. It's level 1 up until then, and to get it to level 3, where you get +3 for you and -3 for them, you need to get it all the way up to level 12. But at that level, it should be at the point where you can spam it on 3 different enemies and get up to +9 for you and -3 for each of them, and it's quite powerful for a base skill that you start with. I have it pretty much on all my necromancers because I have high blood magic. I find it's also a good skill to equip on my minion masters because they can do self-heal while also sacrificing health toward minions, so they can get some plus health regeneration while they're attacking and not kill themselves too quickly by sacrificing health. That, of course, is how you heal the undead, of course. And here is where the blood fanatics take over for the gargoyles. Generally, this would be lined with gargoyles, as would all down in this area. As long as you have this quest active, the vendor at the very end, where you get the boots from, will not spawn. And that's very easy to fix. We just need to complete the quest, kill all the blood fanatics, and we will just map out and come right back in, and she will appear there, surrounded by a bunch of gargoyles, and we will get our skulls from there. We only have 4 right now, and we need 1 more. Generally, I like to hold that spot in the inventory, so I will get at least 6. Right now I have all the bags available and belt pouches, so you can see how I run my inventory normally. I run several pre-searing characters, so I like to collect all the Nick items. I do believe there are 13 of them that he rotates through, and I keep them all in my pouches and bags. For those of you not aware of who Nick is, he collects every day 25 items for 5 gifts of the Huntsman, where you can get alcohol points, which are drunk points, sweet points, and I personally prefer the honeycomb, as they give your entire party plus 5% health. And if you have a death penalty on you, which doesn't occur in pre-searing, you can take care of that as well. But we will map out here and come back in, and that spot I highlighted is where she will be. And I do not get enough skulls despite all of them, but generally you should have 5 as long as that quest for blood magic isn't active. Plus I want to backtrack a little and show you where the gargoyles generally are on a regular run. Gargoyle skulls are of course a Nick item as well, so saving them if you're going to stay in pre-searing for any extended time is also a good idea. There's 2 on the other side of the bridge over here. And as I said, one of the reasons why I'm doing Guild Wars, it's a 15-year-old MMO. I understand that some people may be coming back after a long absence. Some people may be starting it anew, which is wonderful. The community is wonderful. I met 2 of my favorite people in the world on this game. One of those, James, a good friend of mine, I lost early in 2020. I miss him greatly. I miss talking to him, so this game brings back a lot of good memories of playing with him. And this is how it would look on a regular run. Gargoyles to the left, gargoyles to the right, 3 shatter gargoyles. All off in the distance, which we don't really need, but if you want to level up, they are level 3 as opposed to level 1 for these. Of course, if you don't know in Guild Wars, you only get 5 levels above your enemy to get experience. So you can get experience on level 1 up through level 6, but after that you will not get any more. And we have enough skulls. We have the 6 I wanted, so we're going to head back and trade it in for the boots. And like I said, if you're a warrior, if you're a necromancer, if you're an elementalist, if you're a monk, it doesn't matter. She will have the boots for your profession. And this run I'm showing you is how to get all the equipment, including the headgear. That would be the boots, the leg armor, the chest armor, the gloves, and the headgear, which is a scar pattern. And take your time doing this. The initiates, you get nothing for them. You just trash them, otherwise they'll just take up space in your inventory. And we're going to head out here into Green Hills County. And one thing I like to do is try to farm a few of the Alpine Seeds. That's where we did the Grawl quest. We are on the other side now. But there's a few aloe seeds generally out here on the outside of the Barradon Estate, and I try to get maybe 1 or 2 unnatural seeds if I didn't get any already, because you need 5 of them for the chest armor. And there is an area outside Fort Rannoch I will show you, but it's not always guaranteed to drop 5. So it's a good idea to have 1 or 2 in your inventory, so you don't have to backtrack. The drop rates can be a little funny. There's 1. And as you can tell, I leave my inventory open because I also like to adjust the inventory on the fly. I multitask as I play. Enchanted lodestones are also a Nick item. And I will maybe do a video on that if you guys would like me to. Just let me know. Mostly I just want to be helpful to returning players or new players, and I can do some more advanced stuff later on, but I'm going to start simple and hopefully get better at my craft as well along the way. And we have 2. So we won't venture much farther. We'll stick with that for now, and we will head back. And I've done this run many times with many different characters, and generally I don't think I've ever been below level 5 by finishing this run, so that's generally good enough for me, level 5, so I can go across the wall and start killing Char and killing whatever else I can to level up. And if you had a warrior, you can get the axe skill from him, and the hammer skills from him. And we'll sell all our weapons. And we will map back to Ashford Abbey. We won't collect the quest from him right now. Again, we will collect those all at the end. And look, another flower. Like I said, there's generally one down in this area down here, but we will go talk to Allison the Tanner. The gentleman holding the axe in the last outpost is little Tom. If we grab a bear skin for her to make a coat for him, we bring it back to him, but we'll accept that for now. And we'll head over and talk to Pitney and grab his quest. It's not something we'll complete now, but it'll be on our list. And we'll talk to Devona, and we can grab Unsettling Rumors. Now, if we had talked to Haversden and accepted the quest, we couldn't talk to her without accepting a quest reward, which we don't want to do. So we're going to try this quest right here, which is luring 3 packs of bees across the bridge. And I'm doing it now because sometimes there's a glitch in it. And this time, you'll see there is a glitch. Generally, you have to lead the 3 of them, and sometimes 1 or 2 bunches will get stuck. You'll see the quests pip about there, but it didn't, which, as you can see, 1 got stuck. But we'll come back and try it again when we head that way. For now, we're going to head back up this way. I'm going to talk to Chantal the Troubadour and get one of the items I call a block item. And by block, I mean I put it in my inventory, and it's an item that will not sell, the horn that we get from her. So we move it in front of the items that I don't want to accidentally sell, so when I'm selling weapons, I don't accidentally move into the nick items and sell them. That's why I put it in front of those in the inventory. And don't forget to spam your imp. And this is another area for red iris flowers. Generally, there could be one right off to the right and off to the left, but if you don't see it, it's probably farther in. But if it's close by, run and grab it and get to your 50 if you need those items. But we're going to head up here, and we need 3 icy lodestones to get the gloves. Before going into the outpost, I like to kill these first 2 ice elementals and hope they drop a stone, but there's the gentleman right there that we get the gloves from. Did not get a stone there. And of course this area up here is full of level 3 enemies, so if you're looking to level up from low level, it's one of the higher concentrations of level 3 plus enemies. It's a good place to level up when you're low level, but we're going to get that to 4, and now we're plus 2. And it will last for 15 seconds, so we could spam it 2 to 3 times on 2 to 3 different enemies. So we'll go in here, we'll sell off what we have. We'll talk to Relina Stormbringer for the second part of the Wayward Wizard. You need to talk to her before talking to her brother, so get that out of the way. Good. And I'll just show you right now why I have the block item, because if I'm selling, I may get into my nick items, which I don't want to do. That's why I use that item to block. And look, people still playing. It's amazing, after 15 years there's still people playing this game, but it's one of a kind. It's like nothing I've ever played before, honestly, and I enjoy it immensely. That's 1 icy lodestone. And one thing, of course, you can do is once you get your icy lodestones is you can farm some more of these guys just to get your level up a little bit. We're already at level 4, and like I said, we will hit level 5 before we hit all the armor. I generally love this shot here. The tower is pretty cool. But I generally do the ring around here and kill all the ice and regular elementalists around here to just try to get a few more stones and get a little more experience under my belt. And some more drops to sell for gold. One of the reasons why you want to get an identification kit. It's 100 gold, but it will pay for itself. 25 uses, it will pay for itself with 2 blue weapons or items that are worth 50 gold or more. And I guarantee you will get more than 2 in all your blue weapon drops. So it will generally pay for itself. And the salvage kits come in handy in larger areas where I can no longer pick up items and my item packs are full, and I would rather salvage them to get, say, wood or bone or whatnot and save space, while not having to drop and leave them behind. For now, however, we will accept the elemental experiment and get the elemental skills. These guys are all level 1, but at level 4 they give me experience. For every 2 I kill I get 96, which is pretty good. We already have enough icy lodestones to get the gloves, but of course I want 1 or 2 more. So we will be taking a right after killing all of these guys, or melting them as the case may be. Although it looks like they're shattering. And we won't talk to her, we will go ahead and... This row down here is all level 3 ice elementalists, and if you have the imp with you, he'll kill them pretty quickly, since his fire magic does double damage to them. Just do your best to keep yourself healed and just keep dealing damage as well. You should be able to get through it just fine. As I was talking about earlier, the survivor skill is, getting to certain levels without dying. It's changed, different ideations over the time. It used to be that if you died at all, you would lose the skill completely. We'll map back here and we'll sell our stuff. Now it's just experience gained in a row, so you could die, but then you would have to go through everything again and get to 1.337 or elite million experience to get level 3 survivor. It'll just stop the track in wherever you were at the point. So we'll get our gloves for 3, and we'll trash the old ones, and we'll head back to Ashford. Now we're going to head back across, and we're going to do the honeycomb quest again. There is a little mini quest, we'll grab another flower here, where you can return all the farmers' pigs, which is a little obnoxious and not really labeled, but it's not something I generally do. The prize-winning hogs, and they're quite annoying. But we'll grab this honeycomb, and down there is the clam, a beautiful shell that has a pearl in it for the gift for Althea quests. Make sure everybody's behind me and cross. And we'll see on this account we were successful. Poor tenant's updated, and you need only drop it and head off. And there's generally a flower down there. Again, like I said on the way in, but we'll ignore that. And there are other collectors who will give you armor and other things, but I'm showing you my way of doing it, the way I've always done it. Head off to the right here and kill these carrion devourers. And you, if you want, hustle and kill them fast. If you don't, there's a bunch up here off to the left. The rangers will help you kill them, but I want to kill them for experience and I want to get their drops, so I hustle up here to try to at least get a hit on them before they die. Of course, they drop random weapons and other items, but I'm looking for the dull carapace. It's one of the more monotonous things to farm, so the more I can grab on the way, the better. And we'll grab the ranger side quest here. And you need charm animal. I don't really need that skill, so we'll go there. And we will kill our way back down here, grabbing whatever loot we can. Since I'm almost level 5 and they're level 1, they don't really pose much threat. One thing I'll do here is, once I get to the very end, beyond this overhang here, is I will run ahead and let the imp fight the last few. I've never had it happen, but I don't want him to accidentally kill my stalker. You need to go over here in one of the Melandru or Bellandru stalkers, and it takes 10 seconds in real time, but since we're running double time, it'll only take 5. And I don't want to risk the imp killing him. I don't think he will, but you never know. So now we're gonna just head across this bridge over here. And you can bring up your pet's attack skills if you click on that number 1 under pets. Sometimes they'll sit next to you looking all adorable and you really want them to attack, so you need to hit the attack button sometimes. Up there, Varus is a collector. He actually does some items, but we're not going to get him right now. And the other side quest for the ranger skills at the top of this hill right there. You actually shoot some worms and get some more skills. And there's generally another flower down here over by the water. I tend to find it down on the valley floor rather than up on top of this hill. We won't be looking for it at this point though. We're in a hurry to make a video and not make it too ridiculously long. And if you did want to change your pet's name, you would hit /pet name and the pet name. I believe it's limited to 14 characters or maybe even 12 characters. It can't be too long. But you can change it from stalker to whatever you want, within reason. Of course, there's usually a flower up in that area as well, and there's a merchant right here. Generally, if you get in his range, these two attack, so you might as well take care of them and sell your items. And we've reached level 5, like I promised. Get rid of that starter bow, because that means nothing. It has 0 value. It will increase death and soul reaping. Soul reaping, of course, every time a creature dies near you, you gain energy, which is very, very good for a necromancer. Only necromancers can have that skill, as it's a secondary skill. The last 2 items, of course, we need are the 5 unnatural seeds and 3 spider legs. The 3 spider legs is much easier to farm than the 5 unnatural seeds, and that's why I get a head start when I can. Of course, in this run, I got a pretty good drop rate, as you'll see. Sometimes, though, I can kill the entire circle of aloe husks and only get 3 to 4, and I don't really want to have to backtrack, so I figured I'd do it along the way as well. And I avoid combat wherever I can in this speed run, but generally if I was trying to level up, I'd just kill everything in sight. But once you hit this tree, the spiders start dropping, and they're level 2, so if you're level like 5, you get decent experience. Every 2 gets 96 experience. Spider webs are not a nick item. However, I tend to keep them and bring them into post-searing. Linen is a rare crafting item. Not linen, I'm sorry, bolts of silk. And you can take one of the superior salvage kits and actually salvage them into silk, or if you use a lower salvage kit, it can actually be piles of glittering dust, but those are regular. So regular crafting items. But yeah, here are several aloe husks. And we got 1, 2, 3 unnatural seeds. So we already have the 5 we need. But we get several more, which is not usual. As you saw when we were hunting them down earlier, the drop rate wasn't quite so good. And this Oakheart is one of the few level 5 enemies out in regular areas here. Of course, there are many of them across the wall, but you don't find too many high-level enemies roaming around. There's a scaled brood, there's the bull, and there's... I think that's about it, but I could be wrong. Ah, yes, I almost forgot the lightning drake out in the water just outside of Ascalon. I believe he's level 4 or level 5. If you needed more spider legs, you'd head up that way. But we don't, so we're going to head this way underneath the aqueducts, I believe. We'll head up here and talk to Mary Malone and get her quest for her basket of apples, but we won't be completing that. It's a pretty straightforward one. Grabbing a basket of apples and bringing it back to her. But we'll head in here and grab our last 2 regular pieces of armor. Here's Varys from the hill here again. We'll head down there and talk to Hatcher and get the chest armor. And that is all the regular armor you will find in Pre Searing. It's only +2 versus, it's 5 for the regular armor and 7 for the necromancer at least. But it is a boost in armor. But we're going to go right now and show you how to get the scar pattern or the head armor. This was not available till later updates. And it is basically right outside of Fort Rannoch here. We just need to fight our way through a lot of scales. And if you make this run a lot, you'll get a lot of scale fins, which are another Nick item. And if you guys would like to see me do anything else in the game, just let me know in the comments. I'm just starting simple for now. I will have several more videos coming out, leveling up across the wall at lower levels. And I don't generally do PvP, I enjoy PvE. But anything you'd like to see, anything you'd like, I can do more advanced stuff, but I'm going to start slow and simple for now. Curl around over here. I remember finding this area some 15 or 14 years ago before they ever actually did anything with it. I thought to myself, this would be a neat area to have a little side quest, and a few years later they brought along Nicholas Sanford. Because many people enjoy that, but we head right through this little gap here and through the bushes. But there's a whole Pre-Searing community that loves Pre-Searing Ascalon, and they changed a lot of things and made things a lot different, so a lot of people just don't want to leave, which I understand. But we want to talk to Professor Yackington over here. He has it's not a belt pouch, it's a weapons pouch. Basically, small equipment pack, which holds weapons and armor, but we want the ragged scar pattern. And not so wonderful about that is not only does it give you more armor, but it gives you +1 item attribute. Thank you very, very much for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments what else you might want to see. I'll be putting out some more videos later on.